Hi, welcome back, it's great to see you. While I was playing with the clear shaker bags that Christiane has been making, I came up with a way to make it a clear shaker pocket instead of just completely clear, and I wondered if I could apply the same thing to the 3D Memorydex bags. I tried it out and it seems to work really well, so I will link the basic bag tutorial down below. It will be separate to this because obviously this is a Memorydex one. I have already made this tutorial with just cardstock, so I'll link that down below for you as well if you're interested in that. But if you want to make the shaker version, keep watching. For this you will need your Memorydex card shapes. You will want it to end up double-sided, so I have just cut two the same and I'll be gluing them together like so. Then you will need your clear piece. This is just cut from a document wallet, so obviously it's got the two sheets to sandwich the sequins between, but if you're using acetate or you could use vellum or whatever, you will need two pieces. This measures 8 by 3. You could definitely mess with the measurements though and make it bigger or smaller as you wish. Then you need one piece which is 3/4 of an inch by however long your clear piece is. I have made this slightly longer purely so I've got something to wrap it round and stick it to, but you don't have to do that. And then two pieces which are 1/2 inch by again however long your plastic piece is, so these are 8 inches. You will need two because you will be able to see the inside piece as well, so I'm planning to use this one on the outside and then I will sandwich this one on the inside so that it's not just plain. First thing I'm going to do is glue these two Memorydex pieces together. I am using wet glue because I will be stitching and my sewing machine does not like double-sided tape. You could however make this with tape or glue or whatever exclusively, so you do not need a sewing machine for this project. I just like the way that it looks, so I'll be stitching mine. I'm going to set that off to the side just to dry. Then you need to get your clear piece, flip your long bit over, and you're just going to stick this onto there, trying to make sure it's as straight as it can be. I am going to use some sellotape to hold this in place purely because things seem to move around when I stitch, but if you're really good with your sewing machine that's not necessary. Also, if you are just using glue or double-sided tape you could do that, but you would need to stick your two pieces of plastic together as well as sticking them to the card, so don't forget to do that. You won't be putting any sequins in until all the stitching's done, so don't worry too much about that right now. I am going to cut off this excess sellotape, but obviously if you've used double-sided tape or glue or whatever you won't need to do this step. Then you're going to do the same the other side but with your thinner strip. Whichever one you want to be facing the outside needs to be added first. As you can see, this one's a little bit longer than the other one, so I'll just trim it in a second. This is a good thing to use if you've got like one of these grid boards to line it up. Definitely helps to keep it straighter. There we go. And then add your sellotape. Make sure that you're only adding your sellotape where it can't be seen, so it's only on the clear bit which will be covered by cardstock, not across onto the plastic piece. And then again I'm just going to cut the excess sellotape off. You can go ahead and add the other piece as well now if you want to, the inside piece, but I like to use it to cover the back of the stitching, so I won't be doing that just yet. If you want to use yours to cover the back of the stitching, then just stick with me, follow these steps, and I'll show you when to add it. I'm actually going to trim this part as well because it doesn't need to be that long. So like I said, you can either go ahead and stick this on now, it just needs to be the same size as the one on the front, or take this over to your sewing machine and stitch 3 sides. Do not stitch the 4th one. We need this to put the sequins inside, so you're just stitching these 3. I'm going to run over and do that and I'll be back. Here is your piece stitched on all 3 sides. You're going to want to take your sequin mix now and fill it up with as much as you'd like. You can use any kind of sequins, confetti, you could even put die cuts in here, absolutely anything you want to. I like to add quite a lot, but you could just add a few. It's entirely up to you. Once you have got the amount of sequins or whatever it is that you're putting in there, you want to go ahead and stitch this edge closed. Once that's all sewn shut, you can flip it over and add this piece if you haven't already. You might also want to trim all of the little loose cotton pieces. I'm going to use red line tape to add the inside piece, but you can use whatever adhesive you like. I find that this one just holds a little bit better than the standard double-sided tape. Then from this point onwards, it's basically the same to the way that I make the cardstock 3D bag. So you're going to want to add adhesive to this. Make sure you're working on the back side of this bottom piece, and then just centre this best you can. Depending on where you want your join line to be, I don't mind it being straight down the back because I will be filling this with things so you won't be able to see it. But if you don't want to be able to see the join line, maybe don't centre it in the middle, move it to one side so that these pieces, when they overlap, will be over on one edge. You could then use Christiane's decorating technique, which is to add like the two straps like a proper little bag would have, and you could use one of those to cover the seam like I have in the box tutorial. I will link that down below for you. I'm not sure when these videos are going up, but I'll try and put them up close together so that you can see both at the same time. Then you want to just fold your pieces in. Obviously you're going to have to crease the top slightly for this one. And this side in as well. Make sure to distribute your sequins. You can mess with them once it's stuck together, so don't worry too much. And then you just want to overlap them like this. You can put double-sided adhesive straight onto this piece to join it. You could use a strip of cardstock so that it hides it. I think I'm just going to go for double-sided tape. You could even use clear adhesive. If you know of a good clear adhesive that dries crystal clear, you could definitely use that. I'm just going to put this along here, and then literally exactly the same as the other tutorial, you're just folding them over so that they meet. Again, you could find all different kinds of ways to hide this join, so if you come up with any great ideas, let me know in the comments. Also, if you give one of these projects a go, I'd absolutely love to see, so make sure to tag me so I can see all your fun creations. Line that up, stick it down, oop. Line that up and stick it down. Then you're flipping it back over. You could either attach, so it would be this side, you can either attach this side with more sticky tape like I do in the original tutorial, or you can go ahead and stitch along the bottom. I'm going to stitch this one on and then I will come back to show you the finished bag. Just need to cut these little string pieces off, and then that is your finished bag. So there's the front. You can go ahead and add handles like I did on the first tutorial, or you can add, I've seen people add twine, let me grab a piece, and use like cardstock circles on the inside to attach it, so you could put them in like this. Obviously this is a bit too long. Cut out a little cardstock circle and use that to stick it to the cardstock piece at the top so you can't see it from the outside. You can add the normal card handles, which I show you on the other tutorial. You could punch the holes, slide this through, tie a knot like gift bags. There's loads of things you could do. You can decorate it, leave it plain, it's entirely up to you. But hopefully you have enjoyed learning how to make this little shaker version of the bag Memorydex. If you have, please like this video, subscribe to see my future stuff, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching, bye!